Have you spent an unhealthy amount of time scrolling through crypto Twitter? Well, you're not alone.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
But what if I told you that Twitter, now X, could become an even bigger part of your daily crypto routine? That's because X could become a payments powerhouse. By the end of this video, you'll know how payments could change X forever and what it means for crypto. So stick around to the end to find out which cryptos could benefit the most. My name is Guy, let's dig in. Now, before we dive into the world of X and Twitter, you should know that I'm not your financial babysitter. This isn't advice, financial or legal, just thoughts on tweets and the social upheaval. Got questions or comments? Drop them below and feel free to share to let others know. Hit like and subscribe to help this channel win, and with that out of the way, it's time to let that sink in. So, X, formerly Twitter, is a major social media platform and is one of the most important platforms for crypto, for better or worse. Now, Twitter was founded in 2006 by 4 co-founders, one being former CEO Jack Dorsey. For those unfamiliar, Jack is also the CEO of the blockchain company Square, now called Block, and happens to be a Bitcoin maxi too. Anyway, Twitter was created at a time when the most popular social media platforms included Facebook, MySpace, and Bebo. Some of you younger viewers have probably never heard of those last two. For those of you who have, apologies for the existential crisis those mentions may have triggered. Now, it's quite normal for social platforms to die, but the most used are immortalized, in this case, Facebook and Twitter. The thing is, though, the number of Twitter users was fading. At one point, just 10% of Twitter's users were generating 90% of tweets. See, it's easy to forget that Twitter is more than just a home for shitposters and trolls. It's also a business, and business was bad. The lack of users meant that companies were reluctant to pay to run ads due to poor cost per click and conversion metrics. Pretty soon, Twitter's revenue per employee crashed and shareholders grew impatient. So, Twitter did the only logical thing and increased its workforce. Obviously. What's crazy is that this extra headcount wasn't reflected in productivity. To make things worse, Twitter began having issues with accusations of misinformation, particularly during the 2020 US election. It wasn't looking good, bruv, in other words. In November 2021, Twitter's co-founder and CEO Jack Dorsey stepped down for multiple reasons. Activist investors were concerned about Jack's split focus on Twitter and Square, and the board was actively trying to force him out of the role. In fact, they'd already lined up Parag Agrawal to be Jack's successor more than a year before his resignation. Notably, Jack also said that he believed that founder-led projects have a single point of failure, and that's likely a nod to Satoshi stepping away from Bitcoin. Recall that Jack's a Bitcoin maxi. Now, as Jack Dorsey stepped down, Elon Musk stepped up. He began aggressively buying up Twitter shares and by April 2022 had become its largest shareholder. Around that time, he also offered to buy Twitter for $44 billion and the board accepted. Elon then tried to back out of the deal due to concerns about the number of bot accounts, but ultimately completed the purchase in October 2022. His first order of business? Cleaning house. Elon fired almost 80% of Twitter's workforce, including its top executives. He then rebranded Twitter to X, aiming to make X a, quote, digital town square that promotes free speech and an everything app inspired by WeChat. For those unfamiliar, WeChat is a popular all-in-one social app in Asia that features messaging, payments, shopping, entertainment, and more besides. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt the video, but I just want to very quickly tell you about the Coin Bureau deals page. This is the place where we put together all the amazing deals and promos that we're able to offer you guys exclusively as viewers of this channel. Head on over and you will find such things as discounts on hardware wallets, some seriously impressive trading fee discounts on some of the best exchanges, as well as some frankly mind-boggling sign-up bonuses for some of those exchanges too. The link is down below. Check it out when you have a moment. Thank me later. And now, back to the video. Now this is significant because it's not the first time that Elon has created an X.com. He actually set up an X.com back in 1999, which was likewise intended to be an all-in-one digital payments platform. Notably, the original X.com merged with its competitor Confinity, which developed PayPal. When PayPal was bought by eBay, the company rebranded to PayPal, and Elon was ousted for disagreeing with the company's direction. PayPal subsequently spun out from eBay. 15 years later, Elon reacquired the x.com domain for, quote, sentimental reasons. Make of that what you will. So then, what's changed about Twitter since rebranding? Well, Elon replaced the old Bluebird logo with an X, replaced the Twitter URL with x.com, and tried to rebrand tweets to X's, although that last one never really took off, thankfully. I mean, just imagine opening X to find that someone's X'd about their X. Ugh. Anywho, Elon's changes go far beyond cosmetics, however. X has implemented several features to give the platform new life. Some of these features include the For You algorithm in the main feed, paid features through X Premium, and Grok, an AI chatbot. You know, because every app needs an AI these days. But the latest development is what's got everyone talking and is the reason you're all here. That's because X is about to have its own payment system called X Money. This would be the biggest step to taking Twitter towards what the original x.com was supposed to be all those years ago. For context, this isn't a new development. Talks of X Money began back in January last year when an official profile was created by X called Payments that uses the @XMoney handle. So far, it hasn't posted anything, but that hasn't stopped it attracting well over 150,000 followers at the time of shooting. Around that same time, Elon also discussed X Money with ARK Invest's Cathie Wood. In that conversation, Elon said, quote, I would be surprised if it takes longer than the middle of 2024 to roll out payments. So, well, we take it he's surprised then. Now, X Money was officially confirmed on New Year's Eve in a post by Linda Yaccarino, whom Elon appointed as X's CEO in May 2023, although Elon remains heavily involved. Anyway, on top of Linda's announcement, the code for X Money was actually discovered and subsequently leaked to the general public. Notably, this leaked code suggests that X Money will be released sooner than people think, since the code could be activated at any moment. But what exactly is X Money, I hear you ask? Well, X Money will allow for peer-to-peer transactions directly on the platform, similar to major platforms like PayPal. It's quite possible that X Money is intended to compete with PayPal, given what we said earlier. Reportedly, X Money will also see the introduction of e-commerce onto X, which will allow users to buy and sell products directly on the platform. X Money will also allow users to tip content creators on the platform too. And this is where things get exciting. That's because Elon's vocal support for the crypto industry has raised speculation that crypto will provide the rails for X Money to exist on. And of course, the crypto that springs to mind for most people here is Dogecoin. Elon is the self-professed DogeFather after all. Now, Elon's support for Dogecoin has caused the price of Doge to pump on multiple occasions. At one point, he even swapped Twitter's Bluebird with the Doge image, causing Doge to rally by 38% in a day. And this is why so many shitcoins have either Elon or Doge, or indeed both, in their names. To be fair though, this isn't the only reason why Dogecoin is a top contender. Take a second to consider that one of Elon Musk's many other companies includes Tesla, which literally accepts Doge payments for merchandise. And of course, who could forget that Elon is now also part of a government advisory board called the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge for short. More on that later though. Now, the reason why Dogecoin is so loved by Elon isn't just because it's the largest meme coin by market cap, or because the meme is timelessly funny, or even because the dog herself, Kabosu, is, or rather was, cute as hell. May she rest in peace. No, you see, Elon is also a firm believer in Dogecoin's fundamentals. He says that Dogecoin is much better suited for transactions than Bitcoin is. That's because Dogecoin has a block time of roughly 1 minute compared to Bitcoin's block time of around 10 minutes. Dogecoin also has much cheaper transaction fees and can process 33 transactions per second, while Bitcoin can only handle 7. Elon has also said that because Doge's supply is slightly inflationary, this, quote, encourages people to spend rather than to hoard it as a store of value. There is some logic to that. Anywho, to say that Elon thinks that Doge will go to the moon is an understatement. Heck, he literally tried to send it into space. For context, in May 2021, SpaceX announced a mission called Doge 1 to the moon, which would be paid for entirely in Dogecoin. Basically, the plan was to use a rocket to send a satellite into space. Much rocket, such crazy. The thing is though, while we all love us a bit of Doge, it might not be the ideal solution for X money. There are a few reasons for this, but the main one has to do with scalability. Data suggests that X currently has more than 600 million users, and 58% of them are under 35 years old, which is arguably crypto's biggest demographic. Put simply, if millions of X users begin using Dogecoin on a daily basis, its limited TPS and block time would cause some serious problems as the network becomes more congested. Dogecoin also has fewer developers than many major crypto projects, so it's unlikely it'll be able to deploy much in the way of resources to alleviate any issues that may pop up. In other words, Dogecoin's chain could struggle, and the price of the already volatile Doge would probably crash as a result. So then, this naturally raises the question of which cryptos could be more likely to play a role in X money. Well, the first answer is perhaps the most obvious, and that's Bitcoin. That's simply because, aside from being the biggest and most trusted cryptocurrency out there, it's also been adopted by a few of Elon's companies already. Specifically, Tesla also owns a stack of 9,720 BTC, making it the 6th largest publicly traded company to hold BTC on its balance sheet. Meanwhile, SpaceX, which is a private company, owns 8,285 BTC, at least at the time of shooting. A bit of quick maths tells you that that's a total of 18,005 BTC. That is more BTC than Riot, which is literally a Bitcoin mining company. And people say maths is boring. Now, obviously, X would need to use a layer 2 on Bitcoin to ensure it's scalable enough. Come to think of it, it's possible that a Dogecoin-based layer 2 could also be used for X payments. Other possible alternatives include Ethereum, since this is the only other crypto outside of Bitcoin and Dogecoin that Elon has vocally supported. That said though, X would again most likely need to leverage a layer 2 for the sake of transaction fees and efficiency. It's anyone's guess which layer 2 would be chosen for this, considering that there's a new one launched practically every minute. I'm kidding, sort of. There are also more payment-specific cryptos such as XRP or XLM that could play a role in X money, and some would argue that this would probably make the most sense. But if we're being honest, we reckon that if X money integrates any cryptocurrencies at all, it will probably be stablecoins. Specifically, we reckon that USDT could become the weapon of choice here. Not only is it more stable than the likes of Doge, BTC or many others, but it also happens to be the biggest stablecoin by market cap. In fact, USDT's market cap is 14 times the size of the second largest stablecoin, USDC. Food for thought. Primarily though, we reckon that the biggest reason USDT will be considered is because of something we mentioned earlier, the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge, specifically the person who came up with that name. Now, you'd be forgiven for assuming that this was Elon Musk himself, but you'd be wrong. It was in fact Howard Lutnick, the soon-to-be former CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald. Howard deliberately came up with the Department of Government Efficiency, knowing that Elon would find the Doge acronym amusing. He was right, and when Elon pitched the idea to Trump, it was approved in an instant. Now, if you watched our video on Cantor Fitzgerald, you'll know that Howard was selected by Trump to become his new Secretary of Commerce. And he also happens to be a very vocal supporter of Tether. Cantor Fitzgerald manages most of Tether's reserves, and they recently acquired a 5% stake in the stablecoin issuer too. And you can learn more about Cantor and Howard in the video right over here. The point is, Howard's relationship with Elon will likely influence the direction of X money, and it's not hard to see why Elon would consider USDT as the ideal candidate for a digital payment solution. Not only that, but Tether's reserves are mostly held in US government debt, and Elon is literally now part of a US government team, albeit an unofficial one. This means that Tether and Elon's new position could go hand in hand, particularly if the Department of Government Efficiency is to stick to its ambitious target of reducing government spending by at least $1 trillion. And so then, this brings us to what this could all mean for crypto. Well, honestly, the answer is a bit of a mixed bag. Let's start with the obvious. If X integrates crypto onto its platform, this would bootstrap the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies, not only for whichever crypto is actually used, but also for the broader crypto market. That's simply because, for many, X would serve as the gateway into the ecosystem, allowing many to explore cryptocurrencies for the first time. This would massively boost market sentiment, causing all kinds of cryptos to rally. Although, let's be honest, the biggest beneficiary here will probably be Dogecoin, even if Doge isn't officially used on X. The so-called Elon effect is simply too powerful for degens to resist. It's also possible that other social media platforms could begin to integrate crypto payment methods into their own business structures to keep up. Say, did you know that Elon Musk is also thinking of buying TikTok? As if the man doesn't already own enough companies, eh? Clearly, he's not busy enough. And as crypto becomes more adopted, the amount of liquidity in the market would increase. This higher trading volume would likely result in higher market caps for many cryptocurrencies, making it easier for larger investors to get involved in the market. Obviously, that would take crypto prices even higher. On the other hand, integrating crypto into X will undoubtedly throw up a few regulatory hurdles along the way. Even with the improving regulatory landscape in the United States, it's quite likely that this move would attract the attention of regulators like the SEC. Consider that X has only secured money transmitter licenses in 39 of the 50 US states so far. Then there's the not-so-small matter of cost. Building an entire payment system is an expensive undertaking, and there would need to be a dedicated team to actually run the thing. The problem is, Elon has shown he's more in the business of firing than hiring. Then there's the question of whether people would actually use X money instead of major platforms like Visa or PayPal. Heck, PayPal already has its own crypto payment rail in the form of PYUSD. It's honestly unclear why someone would choose to park their funds with a social media platform rather than a well-established financial firm. Come to think of it, maybe X could use the PYUSD stablecoin on Solana. It's also worth noting that as X makes forays into crypto, this will bring it closer to competition from decentralized social media projects, more commonly referred to as DeSo, aka SocialFi. X is inherently much more centralized than many SocialFi projects out there, and this could actually be bullish for SocialFi overall. In fact, it could send SocialFi cryptos into overdrive, given that the narrative has yet to take off in this bull cycle. But, well, one step at a time, eh, folks? The year is only just getting started, and we've still got plenty of time before the bears are back in town. You can find out what we think will happen in 2025 by checking out the video right over here, by the way. So then, folks, what do you think about so-called X money? Will crypto see a wave of mainstream adoption, or is this just a massive dose of hopium? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're down there, be sure to smash those like and subscribe buttons and turn on those notifications as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.